I just love about Flora that you get the opportunity to show your personality with the song and the dance moves that you perform. We saw Nia Dennis with UCLA. She went viral all over the country because of what she did, and I thought that was super impressive. Just also talking to Leah yesterday, you just get the chance to really show who you are as a gymnast and as a person. I think that's fantastic.
Back on the R. A moment ago, Mitchell got a 9.8 here on the uneven bars. The release, a stick landing. I think it's Sydney Ewing. It looks like it's Sydney Ewing. Once again, a solid routine. Over the beam we go. It's just that the fitness and the same fit, right? And the tiny little things, right? The simple little point of the toes or just that hair away from the stretch that you need. Those are the little marks that I think all these gymnasts are getting marked down on right now.
It's just another thing, like during quarantine, you have to find ways to stay in shape. Like gymnasts, they are in fantastic shape 24/7, 365.
And not just that, but eating healthy too, you know? And I think a lot of people forget about this too, but mental health is huge.
Oh, it's huge.
I mean, they say all the time, mentality is one of the biggest things in sport gymnastics. And that was, excuse me.
And gymnastics is like 90% mental. It's all about in your head, just doing the right things, just being mentally strong, being confident in yourself as well.
And that was Delaney Harkness a moment ago. My apologies there for 9.85 score. Delaney Harkness, once again, another new addition from Macomb Township, Michigan, the freshman, 5'4". Spartans once again on the balance bars. And a clean landing over there for the Spartans, and now we go to the floor. This has been a very popular option for songs recently, the past couple of years.
Kind of a fun one.
Allows the crowd to get into it, your team to get into it, and that's half of the battle. Second pass through for her. Beautiful, clean lines, big smiles on her face. Her team's loving it. She's loving it on the field. A little bit shy on that overhang, maybe a little bit higher than she got. A couple points probably, a few tenths of a point taken away there. She gets ready for her final pass here on the floor. Yeah, that was a clean land through the pass. That was German a moment ago on the balance, the uneven bars, the 9.65. That'll conclude it for Michigan State on the balance bars. On the floor, it's a beautiful routine. We move over to the beam once again with the Cornhuskers. Couple layouts. The back layout's been a very popular option here today on the beam, and I think it's because it's such a simple execution to do, but so hard to do clean.
Yes, and to start the season for the other teams as well, for OSU and Nebraska, they've only had 2 meets. MSU, this is their first one. Still trying to get back into the groove of things.
Leap Series had to catch herself there, almost slipped off. Now she gets ready for her landings. Feet a little wide there, but nonetheless keeps it on the floor. Let's take a quick scoring update. Emma Pritchard, Ohio State, 9.825 on the floor. Ella Hodges will score 9.825. Alexis Edwards with 9.775 and JoJo Warga for 9.725. give you an update on the beam here. Still, Alexis Hankins leads overall with a score of a 9.875 for the Buckeyes. Catherine Thaler of Nebraska with a score of a 9.85. Caitlin Higgins with a score of a 9.825. Kinsey Davis with a score of a 9.8. And Chloe Lorange and Michaela Curtis both with a score of a 9.15, 9.025 respectively on the beam. On the bars, Delaney Harkness actually takes the lead overall with a 9.85 score after the second rotation. Michigan State's Bella Garcia for 9.825. Jory Jacker for 9.8. Leah Mitchell for 9.8. 9.725 by Nia Smith and Cindy Hayashi for a score of a 9.7. So bars, once again, looking pretty all right for the Spartans.
Delaney, she's been a huge catch for MSU. She's a former elite gymnast, which is the highest level for this sport. And then she's also a JO National AA and bar champion from 2014. So that's definitely her strong suit.
And again, that's why the Spartans are starting to become one of the, they like to say, building that program. And of course, the Mike Rhodes arrival here in the Spartan program and just rebuilding this program from the ground up and having this new culture and this family atmosphere. You just love to see it.
Yeah.
And as we look at the floor routine for her next pass. I mean, I think what's consistent about this Buckeye team, and I've always seen this from the years I've become calling gymnastics so far. Again, just a little bit too much momentum overall from this Buckeye team. An interesting move, trying to figure out where she's going. Great song choice there. I think it matches personality effectively. But what I've always seen from this Ohio State Buckeyes team is their energy, their comprehension on the floor, and addressing that, and you can feel that energy, right?
Like it, yeah.
And that's what you love, and that's what, again, that's what you want. Because think about it, once again, you get to the Olympic venue level, it's about the entertainment value, right? I was a dancer. This is what I was told as a dancer growing up. If you catch the judge's eyes to look at your face, to look at how entertaining you are, they're gonna forget about the technical elements, right? In other words, oh, you did that technical element. That looks beautiful, even if it wasn't perfect because you have that entertainment value to it. And that's what your advantage is, especially on the floor, because you're not actually using a piece of equipment. You have the floor to use at your advantage. And that's what I love. I think that's what's so strong about a team like Ohio State. This is a score of a 9.75 a moment ago. I think that's a very fitting score as well.
Yeah, like you were saying, just the chance to get the crowd into it, make people smile, you know you've done something really good on the floor.
And that's really typically what you're going to see, right? The greatest gymnasts in the world are the ones that are not only executing these lines perfectly, but have this entertainment value. I mean, gymnastics is an entertainment sport. But I think gymnastics especially, especially the floor. I mean, that's my favorite element of it. I mean, of course, you could say that I was a dancer and everything like that, but still.
And that's why millions and millions of people around the world tune into the Olympics for Summer Olympics and watch the gymnastics team.
I mean, every Olympics, just the fact of people tuning into gymnastics goes up for that exact reason.
Yes.
We have the next floor routine here for the Buckeyes. Michigan State and Nebraska has finished their second rotation. First pass. Nice, clean landing. Again, song choice. Whoever's choosing the songs for Ohio State, I'm loving it. Buckeye fans, I'm loving it. Second pass. And you just see her airtime, right? You can almost take a snapshot picture of it once she goes through the pass. You could take a click, and it's a beautiful picture you could take. That's how you know you're doing it right. And not only doing it right, but also executing.
Yes, execution is huge in gymnastics.
Bounce back off the floor. I always love it when the girls do that.
It's fun.
It's fun. It's good. It's a fun element to put in your floor routine.
It's almost silly in a way, just watching it.
Here's her third and final pass. Again, most of these girls are catching themselves. That's a wonderful routine. Should be looking at a score about a 9.75 or 9.8. That was a beautifully executed routine there. And that'll conclude the floor for Ohio State. That is a conclusion of rotation. And number 2, we're halfway through this try-meet already. Real quick, before we go to a break, Owen, you saw 2 rotations.
Right.
You saw the floor routine by Ohio State. You saw Nebraska on the beam, and you saw Michigan State on the bars. What do you have seen? What do you like so far? What do you want to see more of? What can you tell me after halfway through this tri-meet?
Well, Michigan State, I've been pretty impressed. First meet, which is unlike the other 2 teams that have 2 meets underneath their belts to start the season. But Michigan State looked pretty solid on the bars. I was impressed. Joey Jackard, Delaney Harkness as well. Nebraska proving still why they're the number 3 team probably in the Big Ten coming into the season, with Ohio State currently up 97.9 in first place, Michigan State at 97.625, and then Nebraska 97.125.
And of course, after the break, we'll talk about why that's almost expected once you do the floor and the element of that floor.
Yes.
But thoughts from Owen here in just a moment, as he had it here. Yeah, we'll continue with our thoughts in a few moments here. Rotation number 3 coming underway before the final scoring updates. As of now, Ohio State leads at 97.9, Michigan State behind 2.275, and Nebraska behind 0.775. We'll be right back to Jenison Fieldhouse here on DTN Plus. Do not go anywhere. This is a 0.275. That's what separates Ohio State and Michigan State right now. The top 2 on the board. Nebraska score of 97.125. Hikaru Kudo, Owen Ozers here at Jenison Fieldhouse on BTN Plus Big Ten Gymnastics. Standing by for our 3rd rotation. Now, I talked to you before the break why the floor typically tends to be the strong suit for many teams. And let me tell you why. Floor allows you, there's so much freedom in floor, right?
Yes.
That you can element, right? You have 3 passes you're required to do, right? And then you have a leap series you have to do, and then there's some thing-a-sing series, right? And then you also get to act on entertainment value as well. There's so much you could do on the floor.
Yeah, you get the chance to be creative.
Exactly, and that's what it is. It's made to your own routine versus, I mean, don't get me wrong, you do the same with the beam, right? But the ball and the bars, I mean, you're still doing the same thing at the end of the day. It's just about technicality and can you execute that well. And that's why floor tends to be the strong suit for many gymnastics teams. And that's why when I saw Ohio State come up and score, especially on the floor, I mean, look at these scores, folks. Alexis Hankins, 9.875. Emma Pritchard, 9.825. Ella Hodges, same score. Alexis Edwards, 9.775. Claire Gargalali, 9.75. And JoJo Wargo with a 9.725. I wasn't surprised because Ohio State is good at the floor.
Right.
Think about it last year, folks. The meet last year on the floor, it was so tight. I mean, I can pull it up right now. On the floor, Michigan State at 49.175. And Ohio State 0.25. This is how close it was. And then against Nebraska, which was ranked 16th at the time, by the way, Michigan State 49.475 and Nebraska 49.175. That's how tight it gets. I mean, it is. Got these passes coming through now too. We'll see how good Nebraska can execute as well. But right now, let's go over to the beam as Michigan State underway with their first gymnast. Clean lines. A nice flip, catches herself on her tippy toes, but keeps it on. Should be her leap series right here. Catches herself there. Clean line, just had to keep herself on the beam though. Now getting ready for a release. Twist, lands, a little clip up the heels. Great performance. And that was, as expected, Alyssa Weidman, who went Once again, it was a solid performance as there was just a ball a second ago by Ohio State.
I expect Nebraska to make up some ground on the floor here as well in the standings.
I believe that is Chloe Belmore getting ready to go. And you were telling me, Owen, that like have hurt herself warming up?
Yeah, she looked a little tender, just kind of grimacing and talking to her coach, but we'll see if that.
Weedman scored, it's a 9.7, and then it's averaged to a 9.725. It's going to average out to about. And here's Chloe Belmore. Interesting song choice on the floor routine. Let's focus on the beam here for a second for Michigan State. Belmore with a clean layout. And she goes for the aerial, catches herself. It was a stag aerial. And turns around. Getting ready for her leap series. First, she has to do an aerial around to switch sides. Turn. Ankle clean lines, keeps herself on the beam. Backs herself, switches her feet. Here's her leap series. Had to catch herself. Clean lines though. And now getting ready for her execution off of the beam. Flip and land. The feet were wide, but that's a good routine by Chloe Belmore, and her team's liking it. So it looked like whatever was tender didn't affect her too much.
Yeah, no, didn't look to have any effect on her.
Meanwhile, on the floor, again, I want to mention, this is a very interesting option of music. Nebraska, I believe that was Alexis Hankins just went. Nice routine.
Alexis Hankins, of course, the leading scorer right now for Ohio State on the balance beam, and total in the tri-meet with a 9.875 score.
So here's Belmore's score that's being flipped right now. 9.85 says a far judge. Near judge is going to give us her score of. Still tallying the score up. And it's going to be a score of 9.825, so that's a pretty high score. It's going to be a 9.35, I believe the average is out to. Great performance by Chloe Belmore.
Yeah.
Now I believe it's Jory Jackert. And it is Jory Jackert, I can confirm. Jackert goes for her leap series. Clean lines, always good at the leaps and on the beam. And Jory Jackert, one thing I can say about her, she has built her confidence.
She has. Started a little slow last season, but then she just kept getting better and better and better, and that's what you're just.
Beautiful aerial for line, had to catch herself, keeps it up. That's a great leap there to finish that series up. Nice turn, no wiggling whatsoever. And the beam. For one, again, another one of those athletes you're keeping an eye on for Michigan State that could turn out to be a powerhouse All-American gymnast.
Only a sophomore as well.
Yes. Meanwhile, we got a score in 4-5 on the ball for Ohio State. For Lexi Edwards, a sophomore from Richmond, Virginia. We're awaiting scores now for Jacker's performance. Here's Jory Jacker. She has a 9.85 from the far judge. The near judge, again, still tallying. Nia Smith is standing by for her next routine. A clean vault, by the way, for Ohio State just a moment ago. 9.85 again for Jory Jacker on the far judge. We'll average this out. The near judge is going to give Jory Jacker a 9.775. So that's a very big difference in score. Average out to 9.825. Spartans are thus far.
They're taking it by force.
Now Nia Smith with her beam routine. Again, once again, I want to reiterate, Nia Smith, the Big Ten gymnast to keep an eye on for the Spartans, 1 of 2. Here's what I like about it. Nia Smith, again, she is young as well. I believe she's a sophomore as well. So this team is a very young core that is developing into, again. And then you have someone like Bailey Garcia. And yes. I cannot emphasize when you have a true freshman who is so good at her craft. Imagine you can only get better from there.
Right, no, definitely. And that's kind of scary that she can only get better.
It really is scary. You're not wrong. Smith with a little bit of a shaky line there on the beam, but nonetheless, a clean job. Mike Rose liking it. He's keeping a close eye on Smith. Here's her release, little hop and roll for clap, and her team's liking that. I think Nia Smith I think she straight up just kind of continued where she left off last year. Last year, she kind of improved to that level, and she left it off, and that's what I saw from her today. But that's what you like. You always want to at least stay the same or improve, especially at the early of the season, right?
Yeah, no.
But never want to diminish back.
Yeah. And then just keep on improving from there as well.
Yes. So as we wait for scores, let's head over to the floor with Nebraska. Here's our next pass. Clean lines, beautiful air time. That's all you can ask for. And she stays inbounds. I mean, can it get any better than that?
No.
And here's Nia Smith's score. 9.8 says the far judge. The near judge is going to give her a score of a 9.8. So both judges give her a score of 9.8. So a good performance by Nia Smith.
Yes.
And here comes Bailey Garcia, the true freshman.
I'm excited.
Also the first time I'm seeing her routine too. I'm very excited. Clean line. Nice turn. There's a little bit of a different style of a turn. Takes a deep breath. Wonderful, nice. Beautiful lines. Now for the aerial. A beautiful aerial, just the leap, clean. I mean, textbook. Here she turns around. Taking control of the beam. Leap series. A little bit of a wiggle there, but nonetheless does not look like she's disturbed. Now getting ready for a dismount. And a clean dismount, clicks her heels together. Her teammates are liking that, and I'm right with her on that one. Bailey Garcia, ladies and gentlemen.
Very impressive start for the freshman.
The true freshman's having a day today. Catch on her knees, a little bit rough there. Almost feels like she's rushing a little bit with her movements.
She looks a little nervous just looking at her face.
You can look at her face, it's a little bit timid. She has her teammates next to her doing the routine with her, trying to relax her up a little bit.
She's tense.
And of course, gymnastics especially is one of those sports that you can't be tense. You have to be true to yourself, especially on the floor. A 9.9 for Garcia.
Wow.
Bailey Garcia with a 9.9 on the beam, and that's going to take the lead on the balance beam, the true freshman. Goodness me. Bailey Garcia making herself known here today.
That's why she was on the Big Ten all-watch list.
As a true freshman.
Yes. Wow. She's going to have a heck of a career here.
She is going to have a heck of a career as a Spartan. And guess what? Her teammates are going to love it, and Mike Rowe's going to love it too. A little bit of a tough performance there for Nebraska a moment ago. And now Leah Mitchell, the senior all-rounder, taking her beam routine. She averages about a 9.85 or so, give or take, somewhere around that range. Here's her layout. But again, she knows that she can take a little bit of risks now in this routine just because she had her teammate.
Oh, yeah.
Right? With Garcia for 9.9, and you haven't seen a single 9.9 today.
Huh.
I mean, look at this floor exercise. Annika Dujovic with a 9.875 is the highest score. Delaney Harkness with a 9.85 is the highest score for the bars. And then Alexis Edwards with a 9.825 is the highest score for Ohio State for the vault.
Yeah, Garcia's just taken Big Ten gymnastics with just a force.
She just said, hello,
so
thanks for making us wait. Let me make a statement for you today. And Leah Mitchell with her dismount. A little bit close to the bar. It was a little bit of a rough performance, I think, but
yeah,
also, can you help it, though, when you go behind a true freshman with a 9.9 score? Like, come on.
Yeah, you're like, wow.
And a 9.2 just a moment ago on the floor exercise. And that was Pringer. Kylie Pringer, who's a sophomore, she just looked a little bit tense on the floor.
She did.
And as the next gymnast stands by, here's Leah Mitchell's score as the four routine's going underway. Mitchell has a score of a 9.6 from the far judge. Again, these song choices, I'm liking it this year. And a 9.65 from the near judge, so it'll be 9.625 will be the score for Leah Mitchell here today. The next routine here on the beam. Here's her layout. Clean lines, maybe, but a little bit of legs, just a hair before she landed it, but nonetheless, great layout. Here's her aerial. Oh, she's gonna go with the leaps first, my apologies. Clean lines again, just a little bent there. And now her aerial. Bent that back leg a little awkwardly almost. She whipped it around a little fast. It's interesting. She gets ready for her dismount. Dismount was clean. Clicks her heels together. It's a good run pass through. And that, once again, was Delaney Harkness. So you're seeing these true freshmen get so you like seeing that.
And she's currently the leader on bars as well for anyone on the treadmill.
So Delaney Harkness and Bailey Garcia, the two big players here.
A very exciting freshman class.
Yes. Sure. And they were saying that too. Mike Rowe was saying that too. This is going to be a really good freshman class, and so far it's delivering.
Yes.
Spartans officially done with the beam. The vault has been concluded here for a while now, so it's a floor to do. Nebraska's been struggling a little bit with their past couple of routines. And of course, the Spartans are going to finish up today's try-me on the floor. Land against, once again, parallel. When you land and you're parallel to the floor, that means you whipped yourself a little too much because your upper body should be up when you land.
Yeah, center of gravity is everything in this sport.
She's on the floor. Gets ready for her second pass. Clean lines, and again, not enough. And I don't know if it's just falling from the first two meets or what, but Nebraska has been struggling on the floor a little bit today.
They have.
And I can't lie to you, Owen, they look a little almost pressured.
Yeah, no, being
timid.
Third place in the preseason coaches poll. That's some high expectations for this Cornhuskers. But I mean, Higgins and Ducevic both had 9.8s, 90.75 on the floor.
That was a clean performance by Nebraska. We'll see what the score was, but you can minor mistakes, and that's what's going to hurt you, especially on something like floor, where you have such an advantage to do whatever and whenever you please, you know?
Yeah.
So, with that being said, at the moment, Ohio State has a score of 146.875, Michigan State 146.650, Nebraska 146.05. We still got a couple more scores to input in before we give you an update at the end of the third rotation. That's what we got right now here in our booth. We'll get Owen's thoughts and my thoughts here before our final rotation here in a few moments. But for now, we're going to take a quick break. After rotation 3, Ohio State leads it at the moment with the scores we have currently. Time for Jenison Fieldhouse, Big Ten Gymnastics. We'll be right back with the final rotation. Welcome back to Jenison Fieldhouse at Carcuda alongside Owen Ozust.
Yes.
Love saying that, Owen Ozust. I want to talk a little bit about the score lines. First off, once again, we'll give you a final update here so far. Ohio State does lead the meet 146.875. Michigan State 0.25 behind at 146.650, something that could easily be made up on the floor routine, to be honest with you. Nebraska's score of 146.050, 0.825, almost a point behind Ohio State, and that's surprising.
That's shocking. Yeah.
And we're gonna do a little analysis of this. Let's take a look at the floor real quickly as we're gonna get started here in just a moment. But on the floor, Ohio State had a total of 49.050. Nebraska had a total of 48.925.
Yeah, that was weird that they struggled.
And that is the most big differential, that the reason why Ohio State is beating Nebraska. And it's surprising, honestly, with 4 left to go, with Michigan State's strongest suit left to go, that Nebraska is on 3rd place. Very interesting to see. So it surprised me because I was expecting Nebraska so
was I, yeah.
I was really expecting this try-me to be tight. You look at the meet status, and I mean, you're 0.825 points behind, and Michigan State has their best event coming up, and Ohio State left to go for them is the bars, which they're pretty good at as well.
Yeah, no.
So I need Nebraska coming back to win this try-me.
Yeah, no, I don't either. I think they're pretty much locked in at the 3 seed for this try-me.
The 2 or 3 spot. But I don't see them getting the 3 spot either, with knowing how Michigan State and Ohio State are in these events. So super surprising.
Shocking.
Yes. And here we go. Here's Sydney Ewing that we were waiting for. That top batter spot. The junior 5'5" from Frisco, Texas. Beautiful line stretch there. Goes to the far corner. Nicely to get herself comfortable for her first pass of this 2021 gymnastics season. clean land, an elegant land, a little bit of a hop there. Again, this music fits Ewing's style.
It does.
She works her way to the near side corner. A little bit of a leap series.
Ewing, of course, attended the really famous gym, WOGA.
And here's her second pass. Stays in bounds, catches herself. Maybe a little bit more rotation she wanted, but overall, great second pass through. And again, that's what we're seeing from that Leah Mitchell's talking about. Due to COVID-19, from her in only second two passes. But Sydney Ewing, great way to start off, and that should be a solid score line for the Spartans.
Yeah, and that's just because you haven't been practicing as much, and you want to kind of
It's honestly for the safety of the girls.
Correct, yes.
For the safety of the athletes, as there's an 8.85 on the far side for Ohio State. That's a tough start on the beam.
Yes.
So we're waiting scores from the floor for Sydney Ewing. A release and a beautiful lane on the far side by the Buckeyes. Here's Sydney Ewing's score. It's going to be rotating here in just a few moments from the far side and near side judges. Once again, averaged out. Here's Ewing's score. We're waiting for the judges to reveal. The team's waiting. Looks like Raven's doing this with some Instagram for her team. 9.65 for Sydney Ewing from the far side score line. And the near side score, the judge. Here we go, folks. Bailey Garcia.
I'm excited once again to see how the freshman can finish out.
The all-around true freshman, new addition, the native of Boca Raton, Florida. Here's her first pass as a Spartan. Clean lines, just overhit it, just a hair. But again, just feels comfortable making the floor her home. Smile from her, enjoying the time on the floor. Teammates loving it. Little smile, pumping herself up. Once again, just beautiful lines on the leaps. Here's her second pass. Teammates pumping her up on the corner. Clean lines, she lands it and sticks it.
Wow.
She had a little pike coming in. I don't know if that was on purpose or not. Bailey Garcia, folks.
Garcia is definitely the future of MSU gymnastics.
Future of Michigan State. She just showcased it and showed it in this event here on the floor.
It's really cool to see all the gymnasts get behind their freshman's back. Like, just know that they've got you, because the transition from high school to college is a big one.
And I think that's a big part of this family atmosphere, right? Is to maintain that, to keep that together, and
yeah, that's huge.
To let everyone know. And here we go as we await Garcia's scores. 9.8 from the far side judge. Teammates are liking that. So the vault by the Cornhuskers, a little hop, but good catch there. And a 9.825 by Garcia. So it'll be averaging out to 9.8125 for Garcia. It's a pretty good start. And here's another true freshman that's going on, Delaney Harkness. First pass for her, the Spartan, beautiful lines, hits it, lands it perfectly. Seeing a little bit of sassiness and energy from her.
I like it.
Again, the floor, and I will reiterate this, is a chance, is a little slip up if she catches herself, is a chance for you to show your character off. You make it your own. It's your own routine with your own music. And that's what does it. You just have to hit the elements that are required to get those points. Second pass. Lands again, just not enough rotation there, so that means that she needs to get a little bit more height there. But again, true freshman after true freshman. Turns, team's liking that. It's a clean turn. And she'll finish on the floor. Her team likes that. Great performance by Delaney Harkness. Another true freshman that started her sparring career here today at Jenison Fieldhouse.
Yeah, both true freshmen really impressing, as Harkness is currently the leader of the tri-meet with the score of 9.85 in the bars. And then
Bailey Garcia looks like won the beam for 9.9. Yeah,
that's really impressive.
So two true freshmen just leading it off. And looks like Leah Mitchell's up next in the number 3 batter spot. So I wonder who the anchor is going to be.
Should be interesting, yeah.
Are they going to put Nia Smith as an anchor or Hoflake as an anchor? Because Hoflake won second. 9.75 is the score from the far side judge for Harkness. The near side judge gives Delaney Harkness a 9.275. What a difference.
Huh. Interesting.
That is a big difference.
Yeah, that's
I wonder what the near side judge, that's going to be average to 9.5. That one hurts a little bit.
That's harsh.
Wonder what the near side judge saw that the far side judge didn't, or vice versa.
Yeah.
But here's Leah Mitchell, an opportunity for her to redeem perhaps Harkness' score. Now, fun fact is Leah Mitchell does her routine. Last year's routine, I had an opportunity to learn it by doing a segment called The Switch, which we aired on BTN Plus last year. A lot of fun, as Leah Mitchell's first pass is cleanly executed per usual. So, you know, if it wasn't a COVID year, perhaps I would be learning this routine too. Here's second pass by Leah Mitchell. Just hits it.
Here's the fun part.
Again, a different style from last year's routine. Clean lines. Switch leap, a leap series, and clean. Up, maybe the angle is just a hair short. That one might be a little bit short too. She lands in the corner for clean legs. Works herself up. To the far side corner she goes for her next pass. Little shimmy. Here's her third and final pass. Round off. Sticks it! Her team knows that. That's a huge performance by Leah Mitchell, the senior. That is how you make a statement on home ground. And that should recover from that score deficit from earlier.
Yeah.
A 9.85 meanwhile in the bars for Ohio State.
Wondering what the difference between those two judges
I'm curious as well. That is you hardly ever see that big of a difference between two judges.
That's 0.5. Like that's
a
huge.
0.5 difference. Not a 5 hundredths,
right.
5 tenths.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Far judge gives Leah Mitchell a 9.85. The near judge is going to give Mitchell. Big are celebrating it. They're waiting. So the far judge gives a 9.85 score. Here's the near side judge. We'll see what she gives.
Is Mitchell saying something?
It's going to be a 9.875. So she gets a score of a 9.86. That is not enough, just a hair shy from the floor exercise from Anka Dukovic. Now here's Nia Smith going at the number 4 spot. The sophomore, again a youngster, making a name for herself. Laying just a little over rotation. That's just a hair of a point that's taken away from you. I think it's 100th, 500th or 10th. Working her way to the near side corner. Clean lines for her leap series. And here's her second pass. Lands it. Again, Spartan's just looking comfortable on the floor, but I got to continue last year's argument that Michigan State, the beam might start to become their team's thing.
Yeah, no, definitely. They were really impressive.
They were really good on the beam today. Smith gets herself controlled and comfortable. The bars have concluded as well, so there's just a floor to go, and Nia Smith just sticks it, and Elena Rabin's loving that on the sideline. Nia Smith, folks. Another spectacular performance.
And that's the difference between the MSU gymnasts on the floor compared to the Nebraska gymnasts, is that MSU looked to be more relaxed and having fun, while Nebraska gymnasts were looking tense, kind of nervous. I don't know if that was just pressure or what that situation was.
And you're right, you're 100%. It looks like Ashley Hoflick is going to be the anchor. That was a big question because Ella Douglas was the anchor last year, but now it looks like Hoflick is going to be the anchor. She's getting pumped up. There's Leah Mitchell. There's one of her best friends, Leah Mitchell, right there pumping herself up. We'll see the score for Nia Smith. That was a pretty good performance by Nia Smith. Michigan State, by the way, is behind Ohio State 9.6 right now with the scoring update. So Spartans have an opportunity to win this thing. $9.85 for Nia Smith on the far side. So let's see what the near side judge says.
She's just having fun right now. She's relaxed as she's getting ready to go.
I mean, Ashley Hoflick, she has always been entertainment. Here's Nia Smith on the near side. A 9.85 and a 9.85. So Nia Smith goes for a 9.85.
Very impressive.
Another phenomenal performance. And here comes the anchor, Ashley Hoflick, the junior, that's going to take over Ella Douglas, who's now on the sideline as a volunteer coach for Michigan State. Ashley, energy. You can see the smile from the booth. Here's her first pass. Sticks it without a question. And you see it. It's not even just the gymnast on the floor. Itself is having a lot of fun. Mike Rose having fun. The coaches everyone is having fun.
Yeah. And especially with the pandemic going on and everything, like, this is an escape for the gymnasts, that they're just like here cheering on their teammates, and it's an awesome experience.
I mean, it's a family, more of a family now because of the pandemic, because you can't actually see your family at all, more than you usually. As by Hoflick is wonderful. She's always going to get brownie points for that from the judges. The wall gymnast. Right there, love it whenever they do that. Getting ready for her final pass, working her way to the far side corner. Deep breaths. Final pass, Hoflick. Round off, double tuck, and she lands it! The double. Little bit of a wide stance, but either way, that was a beautiful. She's gonna get the elements, and her team's liking that. A beautiful, strong performance by Ashley Hoflick to wrap this final rotation up.
MSU's confident. I love it.
Spartans are pumping up and now. They know that they got this.
That was good. heck of a first meet for MSU.
Very, very nice try meet.
What a performance by the freshmen, too. Garcia and Harkness.
Oh, goodness me. We'll talk about that here in just a moment. We're going to see Hopeflick score. Hopeflick is a 9-9 from the far side.
Wow.
While the team is huddled up. He's not even looking at the score. It's a 9-9 for Hopeflick on the far judge.
They know that's how they need.
So we'll see the near side score. That should be plenty enough for Spartans to meet. Leah Mitchell's official average is a 9.875, so it looks like that was an error. And it's a 9.85 for the near judge, so it's going to be a 9.875. So hopefully we'll tie the floor exercise. Should be plenty enough, and Michigan State should be winning this one. We'll give you final score lines here in just a few moments. Do not go anywhere. We're going to get final thoughts from Owen, myself, as well as the final score line for BTN Plus. Welcome back to Jenison Fieldhouse at Karakudo alongside Owen Ozust. Well, I don't know why I said Ozark.
You're good.
Ozust, you know, still living the life. Ozust. Going through awards now. Starting. Sydney Jennings with a 9.825. And top on the list of Ohio State. Alexis Edwards for the ball of a high score of Ohio State, 9.825. And Anika Dujovkovic from Nebraska with a score of a 9.825 to finish up the top. All three get the top spot for the vault. And another three-way tie for the uneven parallel bars. Top score from Ohio State, Jenna Schwarzenberger for 9.850. From Ohio with a 9.850. And from Michigan State University, Delaney Harkness with a 9.850. Harkness, once again, a freshman.
She's been fantastic today in her MSU debut. Kind of got a little overshadowed by Garcia, but like you cannot forget about Harkness, that's for sure.
I mean, you're talking about senior, right?
Yeah.
On top. On the beam. Third place, Catherine Thaler of Nebraska with a 9.850. And second, Alexis Hankins from Ohio State with 9.8750. And that was a wonderful, beautiful, beautiful over on the beam. But we both know it. We both knew when we saw it.
Of course.
To top the chart here for the balance beam is a true freshman from Michigan State University, Bailey Garcia, the freshman from Boca Raton, Florida.
How many freshmen in their debut can say, I got a 9.9 on beam? That's so impressive.
On your first meet, like, yeah, come on.
Wow.
And finally, we're gonna head over to the floor where there's a four-way tie for first place. For 9.875 from Ohio State, Alexis Hankins. And we saw Alexis Hankins' routine on Ohio State on the floor. That's a very beautiful routine by her.
I like the music choice as well for her.
Yes, Caitlin Higgins with a 9.875 from Nebraska. Another solid performance. As it's expected, Annika Dujkovic from Nebraska as well with a 9.875. And of course, we talked about it off air, even for boss Matt McCullough. Leah Mitchell, a 9.875. She makes it look so easy, like butter on there. And that'll do it for the individual awards. And here we go for the all-around. In third place, with a 39.025, Spartans Leah Mitchell takes third place all around. In second place, 39.175 for Michigan State, Nia Smith. Another phenomenal performance. Nia Smith is turning out to be that young, starstruck killer. And on top, She's going to remember this. 39.3. Get out there, true freshman. Bailey Garcia, the next generation of Michigan State gymnastics, has arrived.
That's just a triple threat right there.
It
That's
is.
so impressive.
And now we're going to go to the meet status here. 194.725. Nebraska gets a third. With a 195.325. Ohio State Buckeyes get second. And winning the tri-meet against Nebraska, number 33rd in the nation, and Ohio State is Michigan State with a 195.775. The Spartans come to their first tri-meet against Maryland and win it all. And with a score above Nebraska and 0.450. What a day for Michigan State gymnastics.
Yeah, I mean, huge day for a few freshmen on MSU. I was super impressed. Harkness, Garcia, of course. And then MSU sweeps the all-around category with all three of their top gymnasts winning that as well. It was just super impressive. But let's talk about Nebraska real quick. I was shocked almost of just, I would say, almost a poor performance compared to the other teams.
I mean, Nebraska, no one topped the charts. I mean, look at it. No one topped the charts independently. I mean, Annika Dušković, on the vault and on the floor did, as expected. But overall, as a team, you didn't see that comprehension, right? On the floor, especially, we're looking at the floor, and you almost felt bland.
In a way. Definitely.
You're not doing gymnastics bland, just where's the energy?
Right, no, kind of uptight, tense. It just looked, I don't know, they just weren't flowing just weren't vibing, I guess, in a sense, but.
I think vibing's the right word indeed, but anyways, that'll do it for us. 195.775, Michigan State wins the tri-meet against Ohio State and Nebraska for Owen, Ozer, and Hikaru Kudo, and the rest of our BTN Student U crew. We thank you so much for tuning in here.